They just, but you just kind of don't think about it anymore. For example, I notice particular groups of students, e-boys, e-girls, right? Soft girls, the one, the jocks, the ones that are, carry around the lacrosse sticks all the time, the ones that, even in the football team, they throw around the football all the time, the ones that, the girls with the brandy and the Brandy Melville, not brandy, and, the hydro flask and the Instagram and stuff, we won't label them, right? And the guys that always want to hang out with those girls, right? And I notice these different groups, and they stand out. Because they're all kind of the same, they all look the same. And it's very easy to distinguish them. Right? And for you go to your school, you might not really think it's just natural, right? But from an outsider, I think for an outsider, adult, most of us, is like all teenagers look alike, right? But if you work with teenagers, right, and and I see that, immediately, that's the first thing that stands out is all these groups, right? All these groups that share the same look or values. The second thing that stands out is that for each school, each one of these groups has what people will call a social hierarchy. Each one of the groups can basically be ranked from the most in control or powerful one to the least. And sometimes there's a little flexibility, but it comes out the clearest when there's freedom to decide where to be. For example, you go to a classroom. If certain people, say your teacher does not assign seating, if certain people want to change seats, one day they come in, everyone kind of sits in the same seat. But one day, somebody comes in and says, hey, I don't want to sit in the seat I want to sit in. I'm going to go sit in this other seat. And assuming that all the seats are full, some people can do that. Other people cannot. Say lunchtime. They're seating in the lunch, you're outside or whatever, and there's certain places where everybody sits. Some groups could, any day, tomorrow, they could just say, we don't want to sit here, we want to sit in that space, and they could just do that. They'd get there first, or they just tell people to move even. They could do it. Other groups, other individuals, can't. They could try, but it's not going to work. Even when you wait to get picked up, certain trees or certain benches or certain areas where there are certain places where people hang out and people wait or stuff like that. And certain individuals, certain groups of people, if they wanted to wait somewhere in your spot or whatever, they could do that. Other people, who try to do that, they might get some dirty looks. They might get out of here, whatever. There's a social hierarchy based on your social class. And that stands out to me. I think for a lot of you, that's just normal, right? But when you come from an outside and you see that, it's like, wow, that's powerful, actually. It's kind of scary. It's kind of like, whoa, that's real, right? And that doesn't stop in school. Like after you get out of school, that's no longer, that continues all throughout life. I think a lot of us here live in 4S area. And, a lot of us, the majority of, not everybody, but all of us live in a neighborhood. And in our neighborhoods, we are surrounded by houses and cars and stuff of a certain type. And oftentimes we'll go to another place in San Diego or another place or outside of San Diego, and we'll realize that things are different. We'll realize that, we'll be in shock, like all the houses are huge, right? Or the streets are so dirty, or there are people just sitting around on the streets, or there are bars on the window, right? It was Thursday, I drove by this house, I won't mention where, but I drove by this house. These people, I guess they had it's very clear. There's house, lot. And I guess they bought 2 lots next to each other, tore down the houses, and then built one house, like in the middle of the two, like on a line of 2 properties. And this house was humongous. And you were looking at, driving by these houses, you see all these houses, and then all of a sudden this house, which is twice the size of all the rest, and it had like gates. There's 2 driveways, right? They come to a U, and they had these gates that open with the electric motors. It's like the gates open slow, like they kind of their own gated driveway. And it's humongous, and it's just like, wow, that is really different than all their neighbors, right? I mean, the house is probably worth more than twice what all their neighbors are. And these are the things we look at. Whether it's appearance, beauty or handsomeness, whether it's being bigger or faster or stronger, whether it's being richer or poorer, whether it's being smarter or not as smart, achieving higher grades or not, whether it's being faster than others, whether it's being more precise musically than someone else, being more creative than another artist, being more connected socially or interacting with other people. These are the things that we look at. This is our world that we live in. And then God comes and says that he doesn't look at any of these things. And when God says he doesn't look at the outward appearance, he doesn't mean just the physical, like beauty. He's talking about all these things. He doesn't look as much at how beautiful you are or not, at how rich you are or not, about how fast you are, or strong you are, or precise you are, or artistic you are, how much more academically intelligent you are, how much more creative you are, how much more you're connected with other people or socially accepted. He doesn't look at any of those things. Instead, he looks at what's on the inside. Now, I don't know about you, but if this is true, I would want to know, what is it that God looks at? If he doesn't look at all these other things, and he does look at something else, what is it that he wants to do? What is it that he's looking at? Right? Because to me, that seems like that's like everything, right? I mean, I'm not talking about just physical appearance, but we're talking about, ability, we're talking about money, we're talking about smarter, richer, we're talking about more gifted. What else is there? Is there something else? What is God looking at? Why does God say that he doesn't look at all these outward things? He looks at what's on the inside. If God is looking at that, if God, whatever that is, if God is looking at the inside, maybe that's something we ought to be paying attention. Maybe that's something that we should value. Maybe that's something that we ought to say, wait a minute, God is looking at something beyond all of these things, deeper than all of these things. Maybe that's something that's important for you and for me. What is it that God is looking for? What is it that God is looking at? What is it about David? And what is it about the inner self that God is most concerned about? We find out, not just from this story, but really from the whole of everything that we learned about David, that's described as having a heart after God. Having God's heart. Having something inside that is different than all these exterior, measurable, outside things, that something about being in line with God's heart. That's what God is concerned about. That's what he's looking at. That's what is most significant to him. It's not about, how what kind of school you go to, what kind of grades you get, how good of a musician or athlete you are, how popular you are, how beautiful you are, how many likes or followers you have, how many people you can influence, how many people you can know. It's about having a heart after God. Having a heart that follows after God, and having a heart that's in line with God. That's what he's looking for. That's what he's looking at. That's what's most important to him. I think sometimes, I think for most people, this is not how we operate. Most people, we operate according to the program and schedule and hierarchies of our social design or who we're around, right? We give in to kind of the, ranking people and people's influence and people's importance on things we see. There are people that if certain people talk to us and like us, that makes us feel better. That makes us more worth it. There are other people that we could care less if they, in fact, we probably not even really interested in talking to them because they do nothing for us. There are certain people and certain situations and certain places where, you go somewhere and get a better deal. Maybe even make money. You'll get something financially from that. And there are certain people and certain situations and certain things which will cost you money. Where people will ask you to be generous. To give, and we don't. Those are not attractive to us. Those situations, those people.